spur of the moment, fluctuating between, oh, I gotta go live, and then, no. But give me a moment, I'm gonna share in the usual spots that I do. You do not have to, but feel free to share this link in any respective platform. Just a moment. This one's a little special, I think, though. We got one down, one more to go. Welcome if you're present. I don't yet have my eyes on any chat. Okay, live and join me now. Please check out youtube.com/stuckinthemiddle. Almost done, I promise you. I made a, of all places, a Facebook page for this solo channel. Here we go. Let me do my talk to text. Live right now, period. The reason I made this page, period. Join me live, challenge me, be humored by me, or even just critique me, period. Okay. Here we go. Alright, Bert, my brother from another mother. Let's fade out. This is where Josh comes in handy typically. Josh ain't here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep that sexy music on right quick. Kenneth. Alright, Ken. Alright. I did watch the video you sent me. And you know what? I'm probably gonna discuss a little bit about that. But thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you to everybody. Shamrock, sweetheart. Hello, hello. Again, thank you so much to all of you. Let's kill the music. It's making it sound like I'm doing some like puff piece. Like, thank you. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank all my supporters for sending me the emails and the sources and the topic and the information. Well, for one, I do want to thank everybody for everything. I mean, aside from the support and showing up and hearing me out, definitely for the people that go that extra mile, which is, you know, the only currency here is sharing what it is I do. By the way, I'm going to officially announce, I think I have already, but I wanted to do it in this manner, in an early part of any sort of rant stream. I made it clear before, so you might have heard this already. CanCon is going to be a guest on this little solo channel, and I'm very, very proud that he agreed. I'm humble, humiliated. Humiliated? That's not the word I wanted to use. I don't know what's going on inside, but that had to come out. No, I'm very humbled that he agreed. He was just like, yeah, bro, of course. You know, like nothing. And I'm definitely going to go to his studio and I think maybe be a part of his episode that he's got coming up in the near future. Very, very near future. And the Inner Circle podcast, check them out if you hadn't. Or we're in talks, and I think it's going to be something like myself guesting. But that's enough of that for now. Please be sure to go to the source of the passion of what it is I have been doing and what started me on this journey, youtube.com/stuckinthemiddle. So with that, diving straight on in. First off, let me talk about, let me go to this post. Okay, I was inspired. It turns out the dildo store that I work at, the magical dildo store, that's an important detail. It's located very closely to a VA clinic or hospital. I've never been inside of a VA anything, so I don't know what it looks like. I serve a lot of staff members. Remember, I sell dildos and alcohol. So people in the VA, both veterans and staff alike, have been coming in and telling me their stories. And I had a long work day on Tuesday. And it was a 9:45 to 10:45 or something like that. And I found myself, doing my favorite thing in the world, which is selling lotto tickets. But I found myself, getting over my bullshit and being in a cruddy mood, had a Red Bull, and start talking to some of my regulars. And I don't know how we got onto it. First, we started talking about biker gangs and biker clubs. So you know what story I told. And we were just starting to talk about politics. Me and this one guy from New York, like 90% of Floridians, including myself, New Yorkers in Florida, because I think everybody's fleeing New York at this point. New York is under a state of emergency for the monkeypox. I think I discussed that yesterday. So this guy who came in, he comes in, I'd say 4 days a week, and he'll buy just a 4-pack of tall cans of beer, and he's listening to me and this gentleman talk about politics, or I don't know what specifically he had heard that got him intrigued and had him just standing listening, and then he chimed in. I am a 20-year veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps. And he told me he had served in Operation Desert Storm. A couple of days while it built up to Tuesday morning, I was starting to, talk to all of these veterans. There's so many veterans that I have been serving, and I've been taking the time to talk to them. First, I like to get, hey, how you doing? I don't ask anything too personal. I do not pry. I respect everybody's right to privacy, specifically a veteran that may not want to be too eager to talk about any sort of traumatizing experience or anything that happened. Oh, I know what it was. I was talking about how our military right now is, in my personal opinion and view, not looking great, with the standard being lowered and the jab specifically being a huge factor in people not wanting to join. Now, he had a lot to say about that, this specific Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And I have some pretty horrifying details about his life experience, and I'm just very humbling when you hear what other people have survived, right? I had my days of addiction and being a scumbag and having a few beatdowns here and there, whatever the case, however wild it was. Talk to a veteran, then get humble. So he was like, listen, man, when you're in the military, okay, when you're in, so let me just point out the difference between people about to join that don't want to get this jab, but he's quick to point out, listen, we're in Desert Storm, we're all just sitting around, and without much of an announcement, this guy comes up, whoever, I don't know if he said doctor, I assume, some sort of military personnel. They just came up and they just, say, hey, roll it up, and boom, they're putting all kinds of whatever they want to in these soldiers' bodies because you have signed your rights away. You have signed to defend the rights of our country. You have signed because for a multitude of reasons to be proud of, or because you thought the military is the next step to your future. So he kind of made me understand, or made me rethink my position on the jab, even though I still 100% think, everybody should just be highly speculative and critical of specifically such a rushed process, regardless of how much everybody's told it's all okay. I'm not sold, and I've talked about it at such great length that I don't feel I need to regurgitate it constantly. I'm not the media. I'm not force-feeding you what I think. That's not my goal here. I want to compel thought, and I want to really explain the journey of my evolution here. So he told me, they shot him and his platoon and everybody involved up at any moment's notice, and you couldn't say a damn thing about it, and that's just what it is. He did mention something pretty alarming. I'm gonna just put a kind of a warning, like not fair use, but this is hearsay. This is a man's experience that he shared with me. He did tell me that there were a couple of guys that were shot up with something, and there was 4 specifically that disappeared, and like with no context or explanation. They're just gone. So he pretty much inferred that they were transferred or moved, or he definitely made it clear that these men were to be used as guinea pigs. And also he went as far back as, like, apparently there was, like, I guess when the AIDS epidemic was at full swing, what was this, in the mid 80s, that he knew, this is, I don't know how comfortable I feel talking about this. He knew a couple of guys that had AIDS inside of the platoon, and that they changed their description of what they do. I'm sorry if I'm trying to piece together the great amount of details he gave me, but they rewrote what their purpose was, and he pretty much explained to me that they were just now guinea pigs, and were staying on just to be tested on with a whole bunch of things, and that was pretty insane. Moving forward, why this man goes to the VA? Okay, in Desert Storm, he was exposed to whatever they called it. For what is it? And I'm not talking. What's up, Car Scar? It's great to see you, brother. And I'm incredibly tired, but I just wanted to go on real quick because this talk about the VA with all these people, like compiling it together. Okay, remember. Okay, what's in front of my name? It's progressive, and then it's patriot, because I believe to the core my progressive values is what made me so politically active. And what do I want? I want a public option. What would it take for a public option? Well, government funding. But now, how can I justify that when I'm talking to so many people on both sides, both the staff that helps the people, and I cannot really say that the staff seem very excited about actually helping, which is really disenfranchising. And I can't recall any positive stories from the hundreds and hundreds of veterans I'm speaking to at my job on a daily basis that have had any sort of positive experience. The guy in Desert Storm, he told me he had to get referred to the University of Miami or something like that, because the VA just wouldn't or couldn't, one of the two, give him the treatment he needed. Now, he was exposed to something, and they called it, what was it, in Operation Desert Storm? Everybody came out sick, right? In Vietnam, it's Agent Orange. In Desert Storm, I don't remember, and I did look to the chat. But whatever it was, this poor man who's a badass, he showed me some blotches on his skin, even though it looked relatively normal. But he had told me that whatever chemical that he was exposed to, or maybe even shot up with, had his skin literally just falling off to the bone. He looked like a burn victim. He said you could actually see his bone, and he needed radioactive like chemotherapy, something to the equivalent. He didn't have cancer, but he had some sort of condition, and his hair was falling out in large clumps. He told me the class action suit, it was a bunch of bullshit. Like, by the time they get to you, you got nothing. He told me about the percentage of money that was given to his buddy's family after he had died, which was like 40%, and they made them wait like 20 years after his passing. And then this guy, kudos to him getting the referral to go to a better, more capable hospital like the university or whichever in Florida. But the VA was not willing to treat him, and he fought so hard for so long that thankfully he is one shining example of getting the help that he needed. And at first, because it was it was a referral from the VA and to the hospital gave him a bill, and that bill sang along to the tune of $1 million. He said over $1 million. And he had to fight to get the VA to cover the expenses. And these fights, these take years upon years, if not decades. So he told me they pretty much, the government, or I guess that's what it is. The government operates the VA. They want you to fucking pass away before they have to treat you. And while it makes morbid sense as a business, it's very, very fucking disenfranchising, because what is the core thing I've been bitching about and trying to be optimistic about? Anytime I hear about a public healthcare option, it's never positive in the United States. Okay, there's European countries which are very comparably different that are successfully doing it right. I'm sure, yes, we know there's higher tax brackets. You pay more tax, but and then they're much more smaller and more homogenous society. So in terms of comparing, it becomes harder and harder for me to make the case for this. I still want a public option and a private option. I want these two things to exist. But when I run into all of these people, I can't just, I feel like I am a pollster at this point, and I'm just taking all of these experiences. I have one person, which I believe is Josh, who told me of somebody in his family that went through the VA, and there was a specific treatment or procedure that he needed done, and the VA did it, and it worked out great, and it took 2 years, and that's one positive story. But in the backdrop, comparably, it's a drop in the fucking ocean. And that being disenfranchised, I extend over. If I want a public option, if I want the working class Americans, if they don't have insurance through their job, I am fortunate, so lucky. Took me long enough at 37 years old. I had health insurance once before. I fucked that up. But here I am, through my full-time job, I have it. But I suffered and paid a lot of money, and my family suffered a lot for me not having that insurance. But I keep looking. If I want the government to manage our health care, and I look at the examples given to me by our veterans and even the VA staff, I don't even know if I can say I have a sliver of hope or optimism. The government, whatever they touch, becomes dirty, corrupt, shit. It's I have so few anecdotal positive experiences to share with anybody, and I'm at a loss. I need to believe, for my own sake, I think, selfishly, I need to believe that it could be done, it can be done somehow, because it's done in other countries. What was it? Denmark, Finland, so much smaller in comparison. So, it seems insurmountable. And even in fucking France, but I don't have all of my ducks in a row. I don't have all my aces in their places, so I can articulate a better argument for it. And now that I'm getting up close and personal with people that are dealing with a government-run healthcare system, I just, I don't know, I'm going to need some counseling and or help from any of the other true progressive friends I have. And there is one that recently subscribed. I want to say to you, Kenny, I know you're not watching right now, but when you do watch this, thank you, because I know you and I have been butting heads a lot. You and I started in the same progressive channels, roots, but now, and I think you have mentioned you're intending to run for some sort of public title or office, but we do butt heads a lot. Let's just say, for those of you watching now or in the future, he does not agree with my stance regarding the pronouns, or me being a TERF, trans radical exclusionary feminist. He's like, what's the harm? And he's telling me about a bill in Ohio, and that this is like the same battle for the gay community that they went through way back in the 50s, 60s. And I stand my ground. I talk about, the issue with biological women having to lose, and he points out, oh, those women were losing anyway. No, not true. And I gave him, he has a link for what is a woman, and you have to watch that. If you want me to watch the link that you sent me, quid pro quo. And I offer you an open invite, Kenny. If you want to be a public official, let's start now. You want a larger platform? First off, after CanCon gets on here, there's always what we call the CanCon bump. There is going to be a bump of new supporters and followers. How long they last, I don't know. I'll do my best. And Stuck in the Middle is always there. Stuck at Night. I would love to have you on either or platform, but you and I think it's very important. As two people that want to be progressive, I know to the core, you're a blue no matter who, which is where we differentiate. You tell me without even pause, the red, the conservative base, they're evil, the GOP are the bad guys, the Democrats are the good guys, and I vehemently disagree. I think that is a sign, as I've told you, in plain English, you are already divided and conquered. That's it. You're already tribalistic. You have completely given up on an entire other side of the American population and demonized them, and you're comfortable with that, and now you respect nothing that they have to say, and that is just not the approach that I have evolved in at this point in my life, doing everything I've done. So yeah, I guess I have an open hand, and I ask anybody if you have some good examples from or about the VA, from any veterans or staff, any feel-good stories, because I haven't heard a single one, and I'm talking to at least a dozen or more veterans a day. This is not including the ones that don't tell me they're veterans. I've been talking to Vietnam vets. I've been talking to veterans from Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and it's overwhelming how many of these guys are suffering, and it hurts my heart. So yeah, this is the closest I've been in my journey to really being shaken about the practicality of a public option, because the fucking government is going to be all involved, and I've got no trust for my government, and I have no issue saying that very publicly. I don't care who hears, I don't care who's watching. That's how I feel at this point. I even feel like if we're going to survive as a country, the government is going to have to go through a real massive shake. I don't know what's going to give, but something's got to give before our country does, if you follow what I mean. So I guess improper segue, and moving on, I do have some fascinating videos. There was a story I was going to tell, but I think I've told it before. Have I told you guys about the time I had a helicopter with a big old, helicopter, what is it, floodlight, flashlight, spotlight on top of me? It was chasing me, and I had like the canine unit, all because I allegedly was smoking a little green behind my vacant neighbor's trailer, and my neighbor behind my home at the time, way back when, called and said me and my very, very obese friend were breaking and entering. That was a fun time. I've told that story in the past. If you're interested, let me know, but here's what I got, and I'm going to flip the screen, because you guys got to see what it is I have seen. And really, let's go back. I was talking to a friend of mine who is unquestionably on the left. She told me recently, here we go, hold on, let me do the flip. She told me recently that I have been a little fiery recently, and she told me that did I make fun of Demi Lovato? Demi Lovato is some sort of celebrity. I don't know what she does. I think she sings, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Some other fucking Hollywood celeb. And she changed her pronouns and wanted to be they and them. So, after, I don't know, a year or two, personally, I think she's just doing this shit to get attention. She now has readopted being a female and now goes by she and her. So I used this example to simply say, hey, look, if she can just flip the switch on how she identifies let us kind of conflate and compare how that goes with children that are transitioned, because to compete as a trans person, you need to start at 12 years old. I cannot believe that's the consensus. Or, any of the young people that decide to go on this very dangerous path and take puberty blockers, which is so not natural, and the chemicals that are used for transitioning. I am not a transphobe, okay? Live and let live. Just don't push an agenda. And just, be who you are. Live your best life. And that's that. But please do not push it on certain areas where where I stand, okay? Within the sports field and with our kids. And I think right now just whatever generations are in a real period of confusion. So here's an example. She said, oh, no, Demi Lovato is just one example. It's an anecdote. You can't use that as an example. I said, I'm sorry, excuse me? Who says I can't use what I want to as an example? And then I explained libs of TikTok. So behold, be ready. I don't think anything can prepare you, but this is real. This is an example of these identities getting crazy. This is a young lady that absolutely identifies. Well, you know what? Horse's mouth. Not literally this time, but
Ways that my friends and I meow to one another.
you're probably not going to hear that. And I will fill in the blanks, but let me make sure the audio is up as high as it can be. And if you can read that stuff, let me full screen this to max capacity. Meow to one another. Okay. If you can't guess, then I feel bad. So yeah, she identifies as a cat. Yeah. So let's go.
Okay, hi guys. So my name's Dasha. I'm a furry. And
Furry.
I'm going to be teaching you guys some ways that my friends and I meow to one another to communicate when words just seem a little too difficult.
Feel free to hit the like button, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. And yeah, furries have always been some sort of a community. Only now they've been going as far as... See, it used to be just a thing like, yeah, I like to dress up like a wolf or something. Now it's like, respect me as being an animal, even though I'm clearly a human. And this young lady has gone as far as learning how to speak cat.
So, here we go. Okay, so first off we have the normal meow that we just use mostly to get each other's attention. Meow. Okay, then
This is
we
dead
have
serious.
the dissatisfied meow. Then the angry meow, but we only use this one on rare occasions because overall we're a very happy kitten family.
We're a very happy kitten family.
Then
This is real.
Happy or content meow. Meow. Okay, then one of the most important ones for our kitten family is the I want to go potty meow. It took me a really long time to master this.
Okay, this is the, if you can't hear, this is what she calls the I want to go potty meow. Why does she need to be able to communicate that she wants to go potty unless it's, I don't know, you're at a furry function and all your cat friends are doing your cat thing and everybody's supposed to take you seriously, so I suppose you'd be offended if we were like, I'm sorry, does that mean do you want to use the bathroom? And you wouldn't just say, yes, that's what I meant to say. No, you'd meow your specific, this is my potty meow. And there's a reason why I'm building this up, because it's going to get worse.
Meow because it needs to be really specific in order for my kittens to understand.
In order to have my kittens understand. Is she referring to peers or her kids? I hope it's not her kids.
Okay, this is the most important meow for me, and it's the I need help wiping meow.
You heard that. Okay. This is the I need help wiping meow. Why in the fuck? Okay. What is going on within the community get together where everybody's meowing to one another and somebody says meow, I need to use the potty meow, and then while they're in the oh my god, are they using litter boxes? They're you know what, they get so deep into playing the part or living the part because it's their identity and we're all supposed to respect it. Oh my God. I really hope that this is not going as far as other kittens are wiping them. And if they're being true to being cats, because these people do take it very, very seriously and literally, that even they don't use their hands properly. How does one help another cat? How does one cat person help another cat person wipe? A little horrifying to think about. Okay, let me
I need help wiping meow. Okay, and last but definitely not least is our in heat meow, and we use this when we need a little bit more special kitten attention, if you know what I mean.
What does that mean? When we need a little special, more kitten attention, if you know what I mean. I don't know that I want to know what you mean, but okay.
Meow. Meow.
Give me a second here. I'm not watching this because I enjoyed that. I am perplexed. I am confounded. These are one of the many identities that we're supposed to respect. When and if you have or have not, whatever the case, see What is a Woman, you will see Matt Walsh interviewing a trans woman that also identifies as a furry, that identifies as a wolf. And she spends times with real biological wolves. Yeah. And we're totally not expected to, out of respect, not tell her that that's perhaps dangerous, or, you know, this is the point I was making yesterday about facts over feelings when it comes to scientific data, or in this case, common sense and practicality. Hey, don't go near that wolf. He'll tear your throat out. How dare you? And then they howl at me or something. Yeah. So this is a what now? Is a cat call, but literally. Go on. Stop staring at me. You're wigging me out. Okay. I don't want to hear that anymore. Okay. All right. You're done. You're done. You're fired. You're canceled. Can we cancel? No, we can't. That's not how it works. They're the cancelers. What the fuck? So there's something else. This one, let's lighten the mood here. You guys want to see something that'll be kind of a feel good, all right? Ain't nothing like man's best friend taking care of a home invasion or home invader. Oop, that's a very small video. I apologize. I'll explain as much as I can. Full screen. All right, so let me just say, one of these doesn't belong, okay? So here's my mouse. This fella apparently ran inside of the home. This is the man of the house. This is the man of the house's wife and their child, and here's their dog. Now, a conflict and or altercation is about to take place. Sorry I couldn't enlarge it. That's what she said. Oh, shit. He's saying, get him, Seamus. And the dog is on him. That happened so fast. 26 seconds. The dog right there running. The kid, the wife, they're running. The dog, you can see, got kicked away and jumps, locks on. It's over. Good. It's so satisfying. And now he's apologizing. Fantastic. Okay, now that made me feel good, just all up in my feels. And I do have another video. Oh god, there's a video of my dog and I. He's not as badass actually. He's a yapper. Oh look, it's the whole thing with Demi Lovato and there. Oh no, let me not put him on blast. I'm not gonna be a scumbag here. Sorry for the scrolling, but there is a video and I simply titled it "Good." All right. there's more to the story. Josh told me, and I was shocked to learn. Here we go. All right, it's going to play multiple times. I'm going to do my best to get in control. Oh, crap. Wrong button. Okay, here we go. Boom. Boom. It's gonna happen fast and multiple times. That guy, the gentleman, not in the blue shirt, you're gonna see right from the get-go. Dude's waltzing in. We're gonna get all kinds of angles from the outside. We're gonna see what this store owner, bless his heart, stand your ground, saw on the way in. And there's more to this story. I think that was a fake little AR in his hand or something. Now, I don't know. I'm not great with the guns. I love guns, but... So, there we go. Old man McCready hits that fucking arm. You guys have no idea what's going on with that old man. I'm going to tell you. Check this out. He shot my arm off. Oh, look, they're going to leave his other buddy behind. The honor amongst thieves is real. Look at the screaming. What do you expect? This is why people say the things that some people hate so much. Fuck around and find out. That's what happens. I couldn't be more pleased that your arm got fucking blown off. And by the way, credit to Josh, which is my partner in crime for Stuck in the Middle, Stuck at Night, pointed out that old man in the blue shirt, he had a fucking heart attack. And while he was having that heart attack, he stood his ground. I have not done my independent research to see what the man's... I'm sorry, I don't know what I just clicked on. It's Facebook, so it's friendly, and it'll also get me a strike if I played it. But anyway, in all sincerity, that man fought through a heart attack and defended his store and his life, and he hit that son of a bitch. And I'm sorry, but that's fantastic news to me. I did have something else, but I don't really know if this has purpose in playing. I felt like doing a little deep dive. Let me open this briefly. I felt like doing a little deep dive because I've been listening to the Parkland shooter in trial a lot, and I suddenly was like, what happened with that one Las Vegas shooter? The guy that was up in the hotel, and there was a lot of conspiracy theories going on. I don't know where anybody stands on that topic per se. It is pretty crazy. 50 people were killed. I had no idea it was that high. I knew it was high, but I don't know. Consider this just another example of American burnout. You know, so many of these kind of instances occur, and it's just like, all right, you know, and I don't even want to know more fucking details. But I went ahead and found all the footage that was compiled. And why not? If you guys don't mind, I'm going to play. It's not terribly long. I can see why people were so shocked and even in disbelief. And there's even people saying it's firecrackers. There's even footage of somebody high up in the building looking down, and not until they see people laying down do they realize something's really fucked up here. Fair use YouTube. This was on the news. This is public information. 6 minutes. It sounds pretty real to me. I would is that an AR? Let me see if I get some audio. And I did some research, you know, this guy, you know, when the police got there, they found, like, he was a smart dude. Like, he was in Mensa and yada yada. He was wealthy as fuck. He would take his brother out in his private jet and go anywhere they wanted. And they didn't find a letter. They only found him adjusting for the velocity of a traveling bullet shot at a distance. 50 people. Don't worry, it's not just one video. I'm sorry if this is disturbing. It's just something we all have to face. Important to mention for context, for people that like to completely demonize our country for violence, there's mass stabbings, much more brutal, and the numbers are almost equally as high. Not 50, but we had a mass stabbing of over 27 in one of those Asian countries. I don't remember. At this point, people are in their panic, but you're going to hear, it doesn't sound like gunfire. It never does, right? I hear the popping. It's very, very low. It's so blurry. This one's pretty blurry. I can't see the people that are downed. This cameraman specifically, he's looking for where the shooting is coming from. It's about to go. I think this is the one where they're like, it's fireworks, it's fireworks. There was a YouTuber that got canceled, and I think appropriately. Real quick, there's this YouTuber. He let me make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Oh my God, you guys aren't seeing it. I'm so sorry. Jesus, oh my God, how did you guys even stick around? There, oh my goodness. Okay, you guys are allowed to see this stuff. But there was a YouTuber that was present, okay? And he was big on, being law enforcement. He was not a law enforcement agent, but he did tell a cop, give me your gun, and the cop did, and then the cop realized, he's like, wait, you're not an officer? He's like, no. And he was like, you fucking idiot. And the guy lost his channel, lost all his credibility, blah, blah, blah. But here we go. Sorry that you guys didn't even see that. I had no idea. At least I can skip the poor quality part and get just to, I guess, the best, if I can use that. Oh, they're identifying that they stay down, they're going to get trampled. The thing that terrifies me is putting my it's fireworks. Putting myself in their shoes and not knowing where that shooting is coming from, so not knowing where to run. This is the top side view, and you can start seeing like the bodies that are still. So this is somebody. Okay, this is poor quality vid. I'm gonna skip. Too blurry, as you can see. And I really, last time I'll apologize, but I thought you guys, I didn't keep track. I thought you guys could see what I was seeing. Skipping the very blurry footage, I want to get to the one where they're in this booth area, running for their lives and not knowing where to go. Complete confusion. Credit to, this is one of the survivors, Brandy Geese. See, this guy is trying to find the shooter brazenly. I hope he's in appropriate cover. I would not be trying to get good footage. Down. Look. Down in the open. That's somebody that's been unalived, expired. Let me see. This one goes on for a bit. There we go. There's the booth. Okay. Oh, I think at the end we get to see No, think of another video. I got to see what the inside of his room looked like, and all of the weapons that he had amazingly and brazenly gotten into that hotel room, and he got all the bellhops and everybody to help him with all of this heavy equipment. And apparently he forgot, like, this Mensa guy that strategized all of this, he forgot to block the door to his hotel, to his room. Seems like a huge oversight for our genius. Although he was intoxicated and he was taking benzodiazepines, so probably not on his A game. But unfortunately, his aim was pretty efficient. All right, let me here, this one. Somebody immediately identifies this as being an AR. And it seems to me people are just still, not aware of how severe everything is. But that's how it is, right? That's very much a dose of reality. It could be any one of us that are in the middle of something very, very dangerous, and we're just not aware. So I don't know, just because, Stoneman and Douglas, the Parkland shooting, all that, it's in my backyard. I was almost a juror, and I just wanted to do my own research on this very interesting case that's still debated regarding if he was by himself or not, and amongst other things. But I cannot entertain too much of that out loud on YouTube, because you know what happens to open speculation and free thinkers if they get too loud. Okay. So with that, the biggest thing I want to just nail home is my interactions with people in the VA as of late have been hurting my progressive heart. And I still have to believe, unless the data is overwhelming, I want to believe that one day, and I know it's not a popular thing, especially with all of you that I hold so dear to my heart, it's important to me that you guys like what I think, but I can't pander. I'm not just going to say what I hope you guys want to hear, and I hope that's the reason why those of you that have stuck around, stick around. I really need to talk to my more aggressively progressive friends, even though some of them have gone out of their way to keep their distance ever since I said, listen, Trump's not the demon and the devil that you all allowed yourselves to be indoctrinated to believe. And the right, red states, the GOP, or especially the people, are not our enemy. Okay, this is where I wish we could simply unify and hold the powers that be accountable. Two-party state, two-party state, one-party illusion. I don't know, I forget, and I'm tired, but as I said last time, being an American is exhausting, and I'm really, really struggling to have that progressive and patriot. That's the entirety of my moniker, my name. I can't find much hope to remain progressive and believe in it, and I can't find much hope in being patriotic and loving my country except for the people. The working class and the regular Americans, our everyday Americans, regardless of party affiliation. I have so much love in my heart because I know we're all such fighters. We've been going through some of the toughest times this country has faced. I know we have a history of going through tough times, and I think I'm just a little scared, and I hope that together we stand to see something great happen, because we need a win. Oh, and get this, guys, fresh take. There is another stimulus bill being put forth. It's over 700 plus pages, and it is called the it's meant to combat inflation. There's a video I was sent the link by Ken. It's combat inflation reduction something or another, and it's huge. I didn't get to the part where it sends money directly to anybody. I don't think we can keep doing that. I know we can't keep doing that. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. I don't care what anybody thinks. But they're going to go after corporations, businesses in the form of higher tax. And why? In a stimulus 700-page bill, are they slipping it? Now remember, as a progressive, I'm supposed to be all about the Green New Deal or whatever. There's elements of the Green New Deal that I criticize. I am okay with a carbon tax on huge emitters of pollution that are wealthy enough to pay their way. Not for John Q. Public and Jane Doe here. Okay, but right now, though, I don't think in the Inflation Reduction Act, once I get the name, I'll put it in the comments. You can look it up because it's there. Or just look in any of your search engines for a new stimulus. I can't believe this is what's being talked about right now. And yeah, it's, of course, the Biden administration is the one footing the bill, and it's all the DNC. Got no heroes left. Well, I don't want to go out on a downer, so I'll say just my thanks to all of you. I'm really struggling with seeing where this country is going. I'm glad and happy that I have a job that is ensuring I'm okay. I'm insured. I have a safety net, stock options. I have a future. But what good is any of that and all this hard work if the country I want to fall in love with again, that I live in, is falling apart? And the media is telling us it's not. And redefining words like recession in real time, in our face. Condescending, treating us like we're stupid. Thank you guys for joining me. Please celebrate that which unifies us. Identify those dividers so we can still have our civil discourse, because once that's gone, it's all over. And that's not happening on my watch. Thank you to each and every one of you that bared with me. I definitely forced this one. I'm exhausted, but I just wanted to get one out there. Looking forward to CanCon, the Inner Circle, and as soon as Stuck at Night returns, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm a little weary about the country. Good night, my friends. Karskar, Cindy,